Nityanandam. This video is once again in response to Sarah Landry and her slandering campaign, which is poisoning so many people against Swamiji and so many of us people in the Sangha. First, I'd like to request you, just listen and hear me out for a second. Just imagine if you were sexually abused as a 12-year-old. Imagine that you had literally been manipulated, completely coerced, convinced that you were loved and protected by someone who is actually trying to manipulate you, and he actually sexually abused and raped you. Imagine if he had kidnapped you away from your parents and then started talking completely terrible about them, isolating you from them, and making you more and more vulnerable to being completely taken away and isolated, completely ripped apart from your family. This was me at the age of 12 years old. Then imagine, what would you feel like if when you went to somebody for support, to heal, for help, what would you feel like if they were saying that you were lying? What if they heard your entire story and then accused you of lying? They never gave you any support. They knew of all of what you were going through and every single point of evidence, but they just straight up turned against you because of your religious affiliation, and just to start a huge campaign and hate speech against you. What would you feel? Wouldn't you be enraged? Wouldn't you be completely frustrated? Wouldn't you want to give up with life and give up with people? Trust me, that's the point that I'm getting to. The point there where I feel like there's no one in society who I will be able to speak to. There's no one who could understand me. I pray that you understand my situation, understand what I am going through before you make your judgments, accusations, allegations, and you throw your harmful, hurtful opinions at me. Sarah Landry has humiliated and ridiculed me about the abuse that I went through. She has taken out court evidence of what has been submitted to the court and has been seen as legitimate to put away a man guilty of child molestation and child sexual abuse and sentence him to prison. She has gotten that out and she is ridiculing me for it. When I was 12 years old, Vinay Bharadwaj had me call him every single night while I was just about to go to sleep. He would slowly teach me about the most ridiculous, inappropriate things that 12-year-olds should never even learn. About sex. He would ask me to masturbate. He would even ask me to watch porn. Even now, 10 years later, it's hard for me to tell you about this. But when somebody is saying that I'm brainwashed, I'm lying, I have no choice but to have videos to make my voice heard. I have to go to all extents because the harm that she is doing is too powerful. The damage that she is doing is too great, and somehow I have to make my voice known. I have to say this. I have to make sure that you understand my story. Yes, it was over 200 hours of phone records where he had called me even at late hours and for hours at last. If you ask me why and how it happened, I am helpless to answer. I was a child. And it took me years to forgive myself for that. And now I have to face a society where they don't even understand me. 200 hours, 12,000 minutes, and 8 days of continuous phone conversations, if it added up. If you add up every single minute. Yes, it's all true. It what happened. And my experience, my pain, my tears, the years of flashbacks and PTSD are a testament to all of those, every single one of those minutes. I have gone through enough of pain, and I have understood, and I have healed a lot. Now Sarah Landry's comments against me have put me into a situation where I am feeling desperate and as powerless as I once was. Angry, frustrated. It is entirely dehumanizing, infantilizing the way that she is literally ripping my voice from me. As a victim of child abuse, nobody should be treated like this in the whole world. No child abuse victim who has been through so much of pain should be made to be completely invisible like this. And I refuse to be so. That's why I'm making this video, and that's why I will continue to stand and tell my story. I apologize for the goriness. I apologize for how much it might disturb you. But I am only saying this and telling the truth. Because this is the pain that I've had to live with and deal with. And people are completely erasing that from my life. Erasing that as if it doesn't mean anything. As if it didn't happen. However, my experience in my life goes to say the exact opposite. It's my right to be able to say what I have gone through. And even after I have gone through the scrutiny of court, I have been witness in court in front of a judge, and I have had multiple testimonies stand for me and for my story. And I have multiple people who stand and have seen what Vinay Bharadwaj has done against me, who understand and who know. And I even have the court documents, the court verdict, and his sentencing, his judgment, and multiple appeals where he was denied an appeal because of the gravity of what he has done against me. With all of this, I am shocked, astounded to see how much society can go to the point of completely victimizing a child once again. I'm not a child anymore, but the incidences that I was so vulnerable to when I was a child, when I was just 12 years old, are still alive and inside of me, and I'm still healing from them. I pray that you let me heal, you understand where I'm coming from, and while you might have your questions, your doubts, and all of that, you have no right to say that I'm lying. You have no right to accuse me of lying, to send a huge battalion of your followers to comment under my videos, to sexually harass me with so many brutal words. I am trying to heal, to live a peaceful life, and I vow to live in service of other people when I took up this life of sannyas.